You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
Is a Taliban takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not. Because you have the Afghan troops at 300,000, well equipped as any army in the world, and an air force, against something like 75,000 Taliban. It is not inevitable.
Do you see any parallels between this withdrawal and what happened in Vietnam with some people feeling...
None whatsoever. Zero. What you had entire brigades breaking through the gates of our embassy. 6, if I'm not mistaken. The Taliban is not the North Vietnamese army. They're not remotely comparable in terms of capability. There's going to be no circumstance where you see people being lifted off the roof of a embassy of the United States from Afghanistan. It is not at all comparable. So the question now is, where do they go from here? That the jury is still out. But the likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely. The words of President Biden, the last time we heard from him in front of TV cameras, and that remark from July 8th. This is August 16, 2021. Those remarks that he stated in July 8th, that's just not going to happen. And he continued to insist that. Well, we know otherwise now, don't we? Because over the weekend, Taliban surged in and taking not only most of Afghanistan, but then the capital of Afghanistan, Kabul, where we have U.S. troops trying to evacuate Americans and Afghan interpreters and their families. And what have we heard from Biden over the weekend? Biden has been at Camp David, vacation. I want to stress to you again, I do not want to say or believe or insist that Biden has to be in the White House to be in contact with the Pentagon and the information he needs. Returning to the White House would be a photo op. It would not necessarily change anything to that extent. But I do have concerns that we have not seen him on television because is he under some medication over this period of this vacation time where he cannot really go on television? Now, we're told that later today, in fact, in the last 15 minutes of this program, he will be addressing the nation regarding Afghanistan, happening around 2:45 Central Time. We'll be watching for that and see what happens. But silent up until now, and then just this morning, his national security advisor was asked by CBS News, when do you expect President Biden to make a statement? He said, well, I don't know. And shortly after that, the White House came out and said it's going to happen this afternoon. You talk about the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing, and that's just communicating to the American public. The disaster, and I call it a disaster in Afghanistan, it's total chaos. Biden ordering another U.S. 1,000 troops in. This would be from the 82nd Airborne. We now apparently will have 7,000 U.S. troops on the ground in Afghanistan very soon. And the chaos at the airport is very evident. We've got many storming the airport. They have now crowded, and we're talking about Taliban. We're talking about those trying to escape. They're now all over the runways. They can't get planes on or off the ground safely. And in fact, there was one photo of one of the airlifts as it lifted up, people falling from the nose gear. They were hiding inside, trying to get out of the country. Evacuation flights halted. Can't get planes in, can't get planes out. Now, we're told, we knew what we were going to do. It was all planned, and we gave them plenty of time talking about the Americans to get out. There's a lot of conflict in that. We're going to get into it. And even the lib media is now attacking Biden. Also, the COVID Delta variant, former FDA commissioner on MSNBC said, there's a lot we don't know about Delta in kids, but so far, there's no evidence this is more dangerous to kids. Now, they try to walk around that a little bit, but he made it very clear there's no evidence. We are talking about booster shots and, of course, more lockdowns. While we have illegals crossing our border constantly, carrying COVID, being spread across our nation by our government. And in New York City, is now going to be harder to get inside a restaurant if you don't have a doc's vaccination card than it is to get across our border. Lock and load. Ready on the right.
You can email Larry at LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com. LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com.